Hello guys, you're welcome back to this website design series. And based on my previous video that I explained to you the kind of website we'll be developing for this crash course. So I welcome you all, and I welcome you to this crash course at crash web design crash course. So without wasting too much of our time, let's get into the business. Now to recap, I told you we'll be designing a real estate listing platform that enables real estate agents and agency, but basically real estate agency to be able to enlist their structures, their property, land, and property for rent, property for sale on their website. And at the same time, the website also have the feature that can enable other agencies to also list their properties on the same website, even though we are going to disable that function in the course of this program, because we only want to target a real estate company that wants people to see their properties, what they have on their website, and how people can easily contact them by relating with them through their WhatsApp, call, email, and all that. At the same time, we are going to set up agents, individual agents, maybe based on the company, the real estate company itself. They have agents that they want them to manage some kind of property. Now is something that this what you are seeing in front of me enables us to achieve. In that case, for this crash course, we'll be using what we call house team. House team is a premium team which you can easily buy on Envato Market. I know if you click on this, it's around $79 for you to buy this. You see, it's around 79 USD for you to buy this particular team. I already purchased my team and I have it with me already, so I'm not going to do any purchase. And for you to be able to design and practice this thing I'm doing at the moment, you will not need to buy the same thing, because I'm going to send it for you that you can also make use of it to be able to design that. Now this team comes with all this sample demo that you can easily use to start your project immediately. And this is one of the reasons I call it a crash course, because you don't need to go through the stress of you designing again. You can just look at any of this design that is appealing to you, appealing to your company, and make use of it. Then you can change the content, edit it, change the logo, change the footer, restructure it because of your previous knowledge you already have in our previous class. You can use that knowledge now to convert this template to whatsoever you want it to be. Now, the last time I show us what the template I love to use, which is this, and how I've been able to transform it to this. So if you can see, I have my own product already been added, my content be added. I even added some kind of section that you'll be seeing how I did it now in our in our journey as we go. Now I also added some properties location, which I gave you one example of one of the best real estate company in Nigeria, which is they are doing so well, and they are doing so well in the business. I borrowed their idea of this design from them, and I used some of their property, like some of their images and all that, on this design. So you'll be able to see that in the course of the meeting. You can see we have almost the same thing based on the fact that I got some of these thing ideas from them. So we need to get, the first step is you need to have your WordPress installed. This is my front page of my WordPress already installed. I installed it on a local server, which if you are using either remote server or you are using a local server like me, you are still safe. So just make sure that you are able to install WordPress successfully. If you cannot do that, you can go back to ikvistasolution.com, go to courses and select e-commerce design. Is a very small amount of money, you will get it from there. So you can subscribe to that course, study the course, then you'll be able to understand how we get to the point of installing the WordPress either on local server or on a remote server. Now this is my dashboard. I always love my students to ensure that they have both the tab open. The front end, which is where you reload whatever you've done so far. The back end, which is where we are going to do most of the operation. I will not explain all the features that we have here because this is a crash course. It is required that you already know about WordPress, you already have the prior knowledge about how to use it, how to install it, then you can move further from there. Now, after you purchase a theme like this, the next thing is that you'll be able to download the theme. And when you download the theme always comes with what we call dummy data. That is demo data. That enables you to install that website on any of your server, either local server or remote server. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to have the same design that you are seeing, just like what you can see on my web. This is what I installed, a demo I installed, and I have this. So that's why I didn't change some of the thing there. I only rearranged one or two things there. Okay, now I told you I've gotten it, so you will have access to this. Then let me go to my system now. Okay, now I'm going to give you this folder that you're seeing here. I call it Web Crash Course because I have everything installed there, and the images and the logo I'm going to use, I have all of them in there. And now I have the theme downloaded already. You will have it in this manner. This is how it's going to come. It's going to come as a compressed format .rar. But the theme is actually within this folder because this compressed file comes with other files like the plugins you need, like the demo data you need. So first thing is to extract the content in this RAR file, because when you purchase a theme, it's actually coming in a RAR file, but the theme itself is in a zip file .zip. So when you see .rar, it means that there are still other documents that maybe they are there, but they are compressed together. But let's get to the theme that we really need. So I'm going to extract this. If you are using Windows, all you just need to do is right click on this and select extract. It's either extract here or extract in the folder, but I'm going to extract this in this same folder. So I'm going to pick export all, and now when I pick export all, I'm going to select web crash folder, and then that is done. Now after doing that, you can see now that I have this folder here. Now when you open it, we now have the main the content within it, which is now this. Now these are plugins that we are going to use, and this is the theme itself. And these are other additional content we are going to use after we install the theme. We are going to see this the child theme that you can use to maybe do some editing on your own and restructure it on your own. This is documentation. In case you want to learn more about the theme and you want to read well and have the complete understanding, you can easily just make sure you read through the documentation. It will really help you, and it will really be of a great support to you in understanding this. So this is the theme we need. So all I need to do is to go back to my desktop, to my back end, and go to appearance, select themes. Now under select themes, I'm going to click on add theme. Then when I click on add theme, I will click on upload theme and choose the file. Now when I go to choose the file, I'm going to locate my document, which is where I save it. I actually save it on a very far, so bear with me for the course of doing that. So I have it in my WordPress, and I have it in my Crash Course, and I have it in here. Then I'm going to select this and go to this. So this is the theme. It's 11.6 MB. Actually, WordPress limits your upload to some particular MB. If you follow my previous tutorial, I actually mentioned it there, so I don't want to waste time on that. So I'll click to open, then select install. So the theme is now successfully installed. Now I can go straight away and just click on activate. Once you activate this, Now, immediately you activate any purchase team, the purchase team will tell you the required plugins that are needed to be able to operate the website successfully. In that case, you can click on install because some of the plugins already within they are already within the theme we purchased. So let's click on install. Now you can see we have our theme functionality. We need to install that. Installed. You can activate it straight away. Okay, it's the activation field. Okay, I will look into that. Then house login register, let's activate as well. Okay, so let's finish the installation and we'll see if they have actually been installed or there is something else we need to do. So we need this, we need Elementor page builder, and we need install. Okay, we may not really need it because actually talking about location, but let's install that. Slider revolution, we may not need this for now. Mailchimp and HubSpot, we may not need this for now. Yeah, yes, they are actually for the purpose of market. So let's go to plugins to see the plugin that are actually being installed. Okay, we have installed Elementor. We can activate it from here. Then we can activate this. Then we can activate this. Okay, now the house theme functionality, we try to install it, is not, and the house login registers try to install. Let's go back there and see why they are not really installed. So house theme functionality, let's try that again. It's showing install, but it's not actually there. So in that case, I told you the other time that we have a folder that has plugins. All these plugins that you see there are actually here. So what I'm going to do is not to install them directly, since it's not coming from this function. So you go to plugins and add new plugin. So I'm going to click upload, choose, and let's go to plugins. We have house login registration, login register. Let's open that, then install. So we can activate directly, and let's go back to add new plugins, upload. So this is how you will install the one after the other. Since we have the theme functionality, let's install this as well. Install. Activate. Okay, go back. So let's upload again, choose, then let's go for the studio, install, then you can activate directly. Okay, let's activate this too. Okay, so let's see what other things we need that are not real activated. Let's see the other plugins that I have there that we may need or not. Who had on house property listing import. Yeah, actually there are also there are also some of the functions that we may need, but for now we don't really need them for what we want to, what we really want to achieve. So let's cancel that. Now that we have all this team, all this team installed, we need to understand three things that has happened right now. Now, if you observe before, we only have small menu items, but right now that we have all these plugins installed, we have some information added, like Elementor was not there before, template was not there before. We have team options, we have house itself, we have real estate itself. So these three, one, two, three theme options, we need to try to have a brief understanding and the knowledge about what they really have. Okay, let's start from this, because whenever you install anything, first thing you should look for is the theme options, because that is where you will see a lot of information of what and what you are going to do, what and what you can change, what and what you can replace on that particular theme. Now, this is the theme option that we can use to set the header, set the logo, set the favicon, also do some setting about our properties, what and what we want in our property to show, what you want in your price, currency, and order. Like for example, now if I go to price and currency, I can decide to add my own currency and the symbol. I can decide to add my own currency and the symbol. Like for example now, Naira may not be part of the currency recognized by the team, but with this currency and the symbol, I can easily add my own. So this is generally a this is in general dealing with the general team, what and what you want the team to be able to do and all that, and to change the appearance of the team, the logo and all that, just like what I've explained. And if I go to the house itself, this is the place whereby you can set your how you want your media to be managed, how you want your currency to be switched, if you want the currency switcher, and also set your permanent to have some information. For example, now if you go to plugins, you will see the list of plugins that are actually required, but we have installed all of them. Are you getting me? So these are things that make your team function. Now if you go to team builder, if you go to team builder, there's nothing here because nothing in there. So this is the currencies. Currencies are going to show you, oh, you can add your own first, you can add your own currency if there are other currency already there, so we can add it from there as well. The currency switcher, they enable you to switch, but this one you will need API that enable you to your people to be able to switch either from naira to dollars, from dollar to pounds. Now these are the idea about including the, let me go to permalinks as well. This is showing you how the links of each of these category has been programmed or has been planned. Like so sorry about that. Like the property, the agent link, the agency URL, the property type URL is showing you how they are being used. So if you go to taxonomy is talking about this short slogan that we use. Like now we have country, we have country state, we have city, we have area, another, and the way they have been arranged. So this one is giving you the whole information. So if I adjust anything here, it's going to affect the whole website, both the admin and the user. Is going to affect anything I do here under this house is setting a base for the whole website, both the back end and the front end. So that's what it does. And under team option is where we now really format our website and all that. Then under the real estate itself, now we are talking about the real estate itself. This is where we see the number of properties, we add new properties, we create type and hard type, we create status of the property, we create feature of the property, label of the property, the country, the state, the city, and all that and all that. This is where we actually, add them and create them, but we must have set them already in under the house and under the team option. So that's that. So now let's reload our main site and see what we have here. Okay, now if you look at it, you can see that the interface of our web page already changed, but this is not what we want. What we are actually expecting is to have something like this. So in that case, we will look for what we call demo installation. That is, we should import demo, and you can only find that under team option. So when you go to team options, click on it, and let's go down, you will see imports and exports, but let's look for demo installation. Okay, it's been placed under the house itself. So from here, let's go to demo import. So under the demo import, you are going to see the requirements of this, but we may not. So you can see all the template I was showing you in that team the other time. So these are all the templates. These are all the templates. These are, I used 37 or 32. Yes, I actually used this 32. So all you just need to do is to click on import demo. When you click on import demo, it will tell you plugins that are needed but they are not there in your website yet. So we need WP forms and we need all-in-one SEO. All-in-one SEO allow you to be able to set your SEO, how your search engine can easily locate your website and all that. So you can click on import. So this will import all the needed information about WP, all-in-one SEO, and after that is done, it goes to import the whole website itself. So let's wait a second for that to finish. Now the plugins are already installed. Now it's installing the content itself, like the home page, the products, the house itself, and all that and is importing all this and even including the theme settings and that. So that is what it's doing currently. Let's wait a second for that too. Now you can see we now have our theme installed successfully, and the demo install imported successfully. Now let's go to our main site and reload it again. Excellent. Now you can see we have all the information that we have on this site here. Can you see this? We have been able to, bring it in. And now let's start the job. Now don't forget, this is what we want to achieve. We want to achieve this. I'm not going to change much thing, just to show you how this thing works. So now we have this, and it's based on my way I work. I love to start with the header, which is the logo and the menu, to set the menu that I need, and at times I create my own menu on my own, and I put the menu that I actually that I need there. And if you look at what I have here, I need in my design, I need home, I need properties, I need agents, I need news, I need content, I also need logo. So let's start with the logo first. So now for us to be able to change this logo as expected, we are going to go back to our theme settings. Theme setting will be our theme option basically, but I don't want it to load in another place. So let's just go to theme option. And when you get to theme option, we can click on general. So this general will show you some other information that what we can do with the theme. Okay, now here in the theme option, you can see site container weight, you can see back to top, you can see some other. The aim is not to give us explain all this thing one after the other. So our aim now is to work on our logo. So let's click on the logo. You can see where we have the logo here, and I've told you that I have this logo that I want us to use, if you remember. So I want us to use this logo. You can use any logo. I would even like it if you can use your own logo while you are doing this. Just get the logo. You can get a size of this, maybe something of 150 by 50 or all that. Then it depends on you, but you can still use the logo that I'm using. So I'm going to, once you click on upload new logo, then you can select it because I don't have it already. And don't forget that I have a web crash folder that I have all this. So let me try to make it in the icon so I can see that very well. I should have the logo. Okay, here is the logo. So I can install this. But if you want to make your work faster, because definitely we are going to use all those images there, I can install them all at once. So I will just select all of them at once so that I will not need to install again. And I think here you go. so Mino is not coming. And as I said it the other time when I was in my introduction, some of these images are from Adron. I got it on their website. So okay, now this is our aim to put the logo just local market. I think the logo is actually different from what is it not different? Okay, let's see. Just local market. It looks different. Yeah, it's actually different. So I can do something. Just let me see this and just save the logo, save image as let me see. Let me save it here. I'll say logo new and save it. So that will save me a lot of stress. So I can just click on upload again and upload the logo 180 by 156. I think that's what I use. Then excellent. So I'll just go on and select this logo and just move on from there. So we can upload, we can change same this with this. We change the logo to this because these are logo for retina, these are logo for mobile. So we have to do all that so that the mobile on desktop can also have our logo as well. Yep. So you make sure you change all the logos to yours because if not, it will not change what is already there. So you can see that this logo has two formats. There is a light logo, there is a dark logo. But based on what I just want to do, I don't need that because my logo has background on its own. Definitely, it will show from there like that. So now from here you can see this is the standard logo height and logo width. I'm going to save the work first. Now for favicon we are going to use the same thing. Favicon is the small icon that you are seeing here. That's what we call favicon. I'm going to upload this as well. Apple iPhone icon, in case you're using Apple iPhone or you're using iPad, we are going to use the same thing as well so that everything is done properly. Yes, so that is it. Then once you've done with that, just click on save. So now the setting is saved. Then you can reload this site. Let's see what we have. Now you can see I have the logo here already, but you can see that it's a little bit, it's compressed. So I don't need to stress myself. I just need to go back because the setting is already showing here. You see, the setting is showing standard logo height to be 7 days and that. So I'm going to do this. Make this to be 80 and make this to be, okay, this is the way to be 70. Let's do 70 here and see what we are going to have. 80, 70. So let's see if we're going to have something more better. Okay, so this is good, but the height we can adjust that since the height is showing somehow. So let's use 70 70 and see. So you can set this based on your own logo because my own logo is a little bit bigger. I can still reduce the height a little bit. Maybe I can put the height to 60 or even 50 so that for mobile too, let me do the same thing. 60. Okay, that's nice. Now we've been able to work on the logo. The next thing is that I want us to deal with this menu. This phone number, if you look at what I have here, I have all this thing here, my phone number, my login details and all that. So let's work on that to be able to set our header. So we go to our header information. Let's see what we have there. Now if you can change the way your header actually showcase, this is the one I'm using. Then you can change it to any one of it by just selecting it and click on save, and that's all. So but this is the one we are using, and that is one I'll be using for this class. So you can decide to have a sticky menu that when you scroll the menu, the menu bar is stick to you. Then you can change the phone number here from here immediately. 234 234 Then sorry for that. So 7393 7393. Okay, so that's that. That's about changing the number from there. So the number is changed. So let's deal with the menu. Perfect. So let's deal with the menu. So now for us to change the menu to what we want, we're going to go to appearance. Under appearance, look for menu. So here, under this menu, we have select a menu to edit. Our the main menu is what we want to edit, which is which is saved to current main menu. So we can now select the main menu and click on select. So these are all the information under the main menu. For those of us that are new to WordPress, basically whenever you create a page or you create a category, you will see them here and you can add any one of these to the menu. So what I intend doing is not to stop anything. What I just intend doing is creating my own menu so that I will not be stressed about all this. You get my point. So let's create a menu. I will create my own menu. Call it IQ menu. Let's call it IQ menu. And it's going to be this main menu now. Create menu. So I need the property. I need the property there, which is the property sections and the agent, and that. So first thing is I'm going to view all. Now this is the home page. I need it there. I need agent there. I need contact us there. I need grid format. The grid format is actually for the property. I need it there. And what do I need again? Home page, contact, news, okay, which is blog. So I need blog post page. Then what other thing? I think contacts. I think that's all. So all I'm going to do is scroll down and add to menu. All this will be added to my new IQ that I just. So I'm going to change this and just change home, and that's that. So and this blog, I'm going to put it here. This is where I think I put it before. Contact. Then this grid goes like this, which is property agent news, property agent. So we're going to change this to properties. Instead of just, I'll still change it on the content to properties. Then we have agents is alright. This one should be news. This one should be news. Then I can save. Now we can reload our page. Now we have this. You can see all this now. Now, if you look at it from here, I have a drop down here. We are going to attend to that very soon now. So this is it. Now the next thing is that we are going to work on this so we can have something like this and have some some information like this here. So how do we do that? Now this is directly on the page itself. So now our aim now is to work on the page itself. So how do we do that? We go to pages. We go to pages and look for the home page. This is the front page, and you can click to edit with Elementor. Now we have this open in Elementor now, and now we can skip this. Okay, now for those of you that follow my previous tutorial, And I also mentioned it, if you've not done that, I'm afraid that this may be a little bit difficult for you. You have to take the course on iqvstart.com. Just go to iqvstart.com and go to courses and buy that course. You will really need it because it will give you more insight about what I'm doing. You will have more information about what is Elementor, what does it do, how does it work, and all that. And now we can get to work, and you can see we have our find your dream home here. This is exactly what I did. I just click on this and it's displayed from here. Find your dream home in Nigeria. So I'm going to select put Nigeria here. And now this one we have a Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi, and Najama. So I'm going to change them to what you can see I put here before, which is this place. I will just align this and copy them because they are same thing I want to replicate. Perfect. So, and I did something there. I dragged this down so that it will be directly under the search. So, and that is it. So we can now go on and go to this renter of a thing. Under it I have search, I have type. This time we are going to talk about it. We are going to talk about the type. This is a type of, okay, I'm going to explain that in a short while, but let me just do a little formatting on this place. So the types is actually the status of the room. You can see the bedroom, what kind of type of criteria you want the user to use in searching, in searching the room. And we have one of it is type, which is what is selected here. If you look at this place where we have search, you can either decide which one as keyword is selected here for that. Then search button is also here, which is what we use for what we use. You can change it to check or search depending on what you want to use it for. The column width of that button is being set as well. Then we have bedroom. These are the criteria you want the people to use to set. So these are already set already. So what I just need to do is to ensure that I'm trying to align, to align this with the color I have there. So I'm going to change one or two things like the background color of this form. So I'll just click on this as well. Then from here, this is content, which is what we have here. If you scroll down, you will see the button size is medium. Button icon is being hidden, so we don't need that. So we can go to style. Under style, we can now do one or two formatting there. The label, we don't have label. So the background, we don't really need background there. We just need to deal with the button. So under the button, you can see this is the color we have there. So I'm going to change the color to something related to green, and I'm going to use something like this. That is that. Okay, so I will copy this in case I want to use it somewhere else. I will just copy it with my hand. So the typography is where you set the font size and all that. We don't really need that as well. The border type is already, the border radius is 4, which is good. So that's about button. Then on over, you can see it's still showing that color. So when you click on over, because this is normal, you click on over and let's change the color of this over as well, that whenever you hover on the button, it's going to change the color. So we can move it to this point. So when you go there now, it's changed a little bit. Then let's drag it a little bit in. You see that? So excellent. So and that's that about button. The tab style is the tab that you click on, which is for rent, for sale, and all that. So we want to change the color as well. The tab color, which is background color, the tab background color that we have there, which is the active tab color. I want it to be green, which is the one I copy in my hand, and it's okay as it is white like that there. What of when you over on it? So we have this. Excellent. So we have this down on that. Then the feed is if we want to change the text color, but we don't need to change all that because the feed are this one where you can type stuff and all that and that. So we don't really need to do any thing there because let me see the clear button as well. So we have the same thing in case, but the clear button does not really have because we don't really use the clear button in this design. So that is that about that, how I was able to to format this to be in this manner. So I will save this. I will just click on publish, and once that is done, you can go back to your page to reload it. Okay, so that is, that is that. So we are going to talk about this criteria of enter keywords, because why that comes on board is when when we want to upload a project, maybe a property, you have to set, maybe for example you are uploading a finished property, not a land. You need to mention at times the types of the house, the number of bedrooms, the number of restroom in it. So the type of the house, is it commercial, is it residential? You have to mention that. How many beds are in there at times. But and also in case of land, in types of land, we talk about the square meter, we talked about the location and all that. So this is properties of, these are the features, that's all to appear when you are dealing with a finished property. So that is that. But for now, what we are working upon is to make our main website to replicate what we want. And you can as well change what we have in this background image. All you just need to do is stay this. Now you can see we have this now. Then all I just need to do is click on this and right click on it. When you click on this and you click to edit this section, if you go to style, this is where we have the background. I can decide to change it to whatever I want, even though I didn't change it on my design, but I wanted to make sure that it is look more a little bit, a little bit local. So let me see if I can just use this picture. This is a Abuja picture, so let's see, make use of that. Excellent. So you can see that you can change that if you want. I don't even do that when I was working on my own, but I don't really like the picture, please. So let me use something like this, I guess. This, okay. Let's use this and see what we have there. Okay, I think this is a little bit better than that one. So let's move on to the next section. The next section is what tells the user about the organization. We have the zeros of empowerment, single up, and when I read through this content, I think they are still a little bit, better, okay to use. But based on the organization you're working with, you can decide to change it for them. You can even decide to remove everything entirely and just maybe you want to write about us and all that. That is it. Now we have feature listing. Feature listing are the property that you are just bringing on board, and the organization wants it to be part of the hot sales at the moment, or the part of the feature property that we are selling now. So we assign them to be featured. I'm going to show you where we do all that. So if they are feature property, once you assign them to be featured property, they are going to appear here on that display, because we have set it that what we want here is just majorly feature properties, even though we have it we have a category of single home, apartment, and villa and studio. I'm not going to change it as well, because our property is also going to show there. It's going to show there, and when we are entering the property, you are going to see how this is being done and that. And you can see that we are still using dollar, and if you look at what I design, everything I use there is naira. I'm going to show you how you can achieve that as well. So let's move forward. Our aim is to, change this design entirely to our own design. Then we have this, which I think I have same thing. I have same thing here. Okay, this, okay. I'll go to our services. From there, let's go to our services. Okay, this is the our services. Feature listing, services. I think I need to remove one of these feature listings. So I'm going to remove this because the feature listing that we have is now 2. So I'm going to remove this from here. So we have this, and we have point for agency. I don't need it as well, it's not necessary. Point for sign up, I don't need it as well. So now we have our services, but basically I want our services to come before this point actually, so I can just go on and drag this, just come here and drag this, bring it up. Excellent. So I've just tried to rearrange that now. So we have our feature listing, we have our services. So each of these services, they actually link them to about us. If you look at my what I did here, if you over on it, it's going to show you um, about us. So I'm going to link them, customize the link to about us. So I'm going to click on this, and if you look at it, the link is, so I'm going to say localhost local slash iq property 2 slash about. So this is what I'm going to do for all of them, so that it will not go to because when we create our page, so it will not go to any other place. So let's do this, then this as well. So I then go to this as well, Control A, Control V, same here, Control A, Control V, Control V, and this as well. I think I've done that, this done. So let's publish that. So right now we have a simple home page, single home page. We have that now. So if you scroll down, we now have our services, we have this, and that is it. So we are going to do with this because if you see what I did here, there's nothing on the footer than this. So we are going to work on that, as well. So another thing I would like to work upon is that the color here, I'm going to reduce this space. The color here is actually close to green. If you see what I did here, I changed the color to this. So let's work on that too. First thing, let's go to back to our design. I'm seeing some empty space somewhere here. Okay, let me see this. Okay, let's work on this. So I want to change the background of this. Is actually, you just need to click on this and go to style, and when you get to style, this is the color of that, but I want to change this to something green related. So I'm going to drag this a little bit. Yeah, that's that. Then let me see this. Okay, I think we are good to go on that. So we're good to go on that. Then let's see this. What do we have here? Okay, this button, I think we need to change something. So I didn't change the content because the content is still a little bit aligned with uh, the application. I can also decide to remove it because if it's just basic thing I need is just to have the properties loading there. That's good. But I want people to be able to click on this and it takes them to contact us page, which is this page. You take them to this contact. So I'm going to this. I'm going to click on this button. Number one, I'm going to change the content. Okay, I want it to go to, to go to contacts. Let me do this. Let me just add contacts. Okay, here you go. Excellent. So then I want to change the button color because the color is not a brand. Excellent. Better. So Okay, let's publish this. Okay, now we have been able to achieve this, and now we have this in dollar, and we need to have it in our home currency. At the same time, we have this here, which is something like residential. So first thing is, before I design this particular page, this particular section, I'm going to take us to where we have different types of property, and how we can work on that, where we have them. So let me take us to that, then we'll be able to work on this. Okay, so let's go back. So you can go back to, okay, let's go back to our dashboard. Okay, so from team option, let's try to check price and currency. This is where we do settings for how our currency will appear. So you can enable multi-currency, short currency, enable Indian currency, the currency symbol, enter the currency sign that we want to use, how you want the currency to be, and all that. So I can just decide to change it here, or I can also add it as one of the currency under this home here. You see these currencies. Let me right click and show it in another tab. So you can see we don't have any currency and maybe any customized currency. You can click to add new currencies. So you mention the name of the currency, if it is Nigerian currency, if it is, then you enter the symbol here. But let's do something first. I'm going to change the currency here first and see if it's going to reflect perfectly in our. So for you to get that, you can just go to Naira symbol. So Naira symbol, just highlight this, copy this, and come here and put it here. So that is it. So that's the currency symbol we are using now. Save pages. Now let's reload our page and see something. Now you can see that now. So because that is our default currency. Now if I want to have currency switching, like dollar change to pounds, so I can now add them here, because that's our default currency now. I can add them from this place, and so that if I enable switching of currency, which we are not going to do, we're just going to leave our currency in Naira. So that's that. So what other thing do I want to change here for us? I want to talk about this residential, so we can design it and also work on our locations. So residential. To recap what we want to achieve here, we want to show residential property based on types of them. And if you can see what I have here, I have property type of apartment, of condo, of shops, of single. Even though the shop is a commercial, I added it there, is a commercial property, but we can still change that as well to our based on we have a single family home, apartment, and all that. So in a situation whereby you have under residential, basically if you divide property into, we have commercial property, and we can say we have residential property as well. So under residential property, we can have different kind of category. can have duplex apartment, we can have single, real estate professionals knows the name of different kind of residential apartment that we have. So I'm just focused on teaching you how you can, break it down when you are designing for them, because I know they will surely give you the type of residential family they have. They have single room, studio apartment, many like that, many like that. So that's that. Then to recap this as well, house here menu is where you perform all the settings that you want it to appear. You want it to affect both the admin and the users. So that is that. Don't forget that. That is what. But if you want to perform anything that this with the property itself, the type of the property itself, like what we want to do now, we can easily go to type of that property. So now we have under type is being categorized into two. I have commercial, and all this dash you see, that means that they are also a category, but they are placed directly under commercial. That's why you see dash in front there, and directly under commercial. Residential is also directly under. We have residential, which is a category, standalone category, no parent category, but apartment is under residential, which means residential is the parent category of apartment. Same with condo, same with single, same with studio, same with villa. And this is another place you can add maybe another category. I can say that I'm adding a category of maybe you want to add category of rescom. I just formulated that on my own. That is residential and commercial. That is a building that's being used as a residence, and at the same time is also for commercial purposes. We have many licenses like that. That maybe the upstairs people stays there, and downstairs we have shops and all that. So you can easily do that, and this you cannot give it any parent category, because any of this can be the parent category, but we can't give it the parent category because it's a category on its own. Or let me just go on, because under commercial we have office, we have shop. What of warehouse? Warehouse can be under commercial, because this is where people store, warehouse, storage and all that. So I'll just select commercial. Under commercial, that warehouse is a commercial. So I can add image that shows like a warehouse. You can go online and download the image, or you can just use any of the image you have. If you have any image that related to that, I will just use this, not because it is the build, it is what I need, but just to cite an example for you, and you just save it, add new type. So after adding that, you will see that the warehouse comes directly under commercial. This is what I want to show you, just for you to understand what I mean by adding it to a parent. So if I add it directly without selecting any parent, this thing here is going to stand on its own like this, just like residential and commercial. So this is the type we have. And if you look at what I showed you the other time, residential, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of them under residential, and that is what we want to achieve in our home page. In our home page now, we want to have a section of this residential. So this is what I'm going to put there. So let's go there. I'm going to go, let me use this. Let's go back to pages, all pages. So all pages. Let me just have just 1 page, 2 pages for that. So all pages, let's go back to our, and the first thing is I want to change this from home page 0 to basically home, to home. Let's change this to home, so we know that we've done justice to that. So you see, I didn't edit with Elementor, I just click on edit directly. So I'm going to change this to home, just home, and that is that. Then you can set a feature image. This feature image helps mainly when you want to send a link to someone. You will just see the logo pop up beside it that let the person know the address that is being sent from. So I will put a feature image there. I set a feature image there. Yeah, so that's good. So we can save that and continue to edit with Elementor now. Okay, waiting. So it's taking so long to open. Okay, so let's edit with Elementor now. I'll stop this. Now we are here now. So we are trying to, create this the residential information and all that. Okay, so let's work on that now. I'm going to introduce a new flexbox and click on this. I'm going to select this 3 column, and after selecting this, you can, because I want to drag this to come in a little bit, or increase this, and at the same time drag this a little bit to make sure that we have those two edge enlarged to 7.1%. So I can click on this and set it to be, let me say 27. Yeah, let's say 27. So 27. Then this as well. Let's set this one also to the 27. Okay, so we have regulated that, and the first thing is that we are going to do first is to have this. So this is a header, and the center, this is a content. So let's bring in that. You go to this plus. When you select this plus, you can search for head. So you can see we have property title, we have heading, but what we are picking is heading. So you bring it in, and you can now type resident. From right, residential. So residential. Okay. So you can decide to, I think let's change to H4, H3. Okay, H3 is better. Then after that, we can go back again and bring in test body, test editor. I want it to be under there. And in this test editor, I'm going to have this. Check out our array of premium home. I'm going to put it here, and I think that's fine. Okay, now we've done that, and within this place I want to start with the picture here, the property here. So to do this, to achieve this, I'm going to click on this again and select is actually property, because I checked it before, grid builder. Yes, it uses grid builder. So drop the grid builder here, and the next thing is that you can use custom or you can use dynamic. Dynamic allows you to now select the types you want to select and information, and it's going to ask which type am I selecting. And don't forget, what we want to select is, this is country, state, type, country. Okay, what we want is type, because we have different type of it. So let's select type, which is already there. Then let's select the type of the taxonomy we want to select this type, and we are selecting what we have in there. I think is condo. Yeah, condo property. So let's select condo. Now we've selected condo. You can see like that. Then we can say more details about it. Then we want it to count the number of property tests, property. Then okay, more size. We have global use media setting. Let's see this, how it's going to look like. Nothing different. Full image size, nothing different. So you can just play around with it to see if there will be any, any change in those image there. So let's use okay, global image setting and see. Okay, so listing count, we want it to appear there. We want the property, the image. You can decide not to make the image dynamic. You will just want to choose the image, but I want it to be dynamic because I will go and set the image as well. So now we can go to style to grid type. You can choose, let's say, square. Let's say it's going to look like. You can choose portrait. So that is going to increase a little bit. You can see that now. And after that, we can select margin that happens in between them. Then you can also set the radius. So I will set the radius to be 25, which is the same thing you can see here, the radius. So, but you can see that there's no image there. I will show you what happened later. Then that's that. We have this already. And we go to the second one. Here we're going to have another settings entirely. So let's go back. Let's click on this. And let's have the plus, the grid builder again. The grid builder again. You bring it in here. So let's set it to be dynamic as well. It's also type. It's also type. So let's put studio here. So you click on it, and the type, we still have the type there, the types of taxonomy, and we are going to select, since we are dealing with residential, let's put studio here, and every other information still remain the same. And let's go to style and change this to portrait as well. So now we have this, and let's set the border radius to 25 as well, just like the first one. And we can now, we have two here. So we have two of this, we have it here. So let's just duplicate this. You can duplicate this instead of bringing in again. Just right click and duplicate. So you will have the second one here. We have the second one, and we can try to maybe reduce this a little bit if you perceive that is more than what is expected. At the same time, we can try to increase this. So let's try to reduce this a little bit. We can reduce the height from okay, we've done the border radius and the content. Okay, so what I intend doing is reduce this. Should be able to drag this down. Let me see this as well, if it is draggable. Okay, let's see if we can reduce the height. That's what I need to achieve there. Okay, let's put the width to custom. That's the width. Let me see. I actually need the height to put on custom. Okay, I'm going to set that now. Now here you go. Let's click on this and change this to custom. So from here we can drag and drag and drag to meet up the size that we want. You can as well do the same thing with this by making sure that the two can also be regulated. But since we have been able to balance it, then we can move on to the next one. And don't forget we have another one here, which is this guy, which is the apartment. So I'm going to, okay, before I do that, I need to change this one from studio to single. So we have the content, we have studio, but I need to change it to single family. That's what we have there. Okay, now I'm going to bring in another grid builder, let's drag it here, and that should be dynamic as well. Where is it? I'm bringing another grid, but I think I dropped it in the wrong place the other time. I want to target under this. Excellent. So we make it dynamic, and we set the type to now be apartment. Okay, so we can go to style and make it to be portrait. But we look at the portrait, it has a designated. So let's change this to 25 as well before I move on. It has a designated size, but what we really want is we want it to extend. We are going to drop the margin between this and this so that it will start from here. So let me go for margin. Let me see. We have margin. This is general margin. This is top padding. But let's just use this. Let's set the top to be 20 so that we have it going down. Let me use 40. I think that's fine. So we are going to now extend this as well using style. Instead of portrait, let's use custom. Then we can now increase it down. Yes, perfect. I think that's all right. Can make it 3. Okay, now we have this, and we can save this and see what we have. So if we reload our page, oh, now we have this, but it says something. I think I will have to do something because this is still a little bit lengthy. So I'm going to reduce this a little bit and compress this a little bit so we can have this one compressed. So I will use this one to set the height. I will use this to set the height, and let me reduce it a little bit like this. Okay, I think that's, let me do that a little bit. Okay, I think that's fine. So we do the same thing by reducing this to the same height with that. Okay, then I will now set this to as well to have custom, and then reduce them a little bit. Yes, and that's 115. Let me change this one to 152. Custom 115. Okay, so let's give it 120. Then I will give the top also 120. We should have a balance. Okay, still go 22. Then leave this one to also 22. It will be better. Small. So 23. Then 23. We should have this now. Okay, so that's that. So we can publish that now. But if you observe my work, there are images in between, but this one is just one black. Okay, so what actually happened is that by default these types do not have image in them as the image for that particular type. So I will leave this page and then I will leave our home page, but I'm going to open the dashboard again on another tab. So for me to be able to access that and just show you how that is being done. So we're going to the real estate, we are going to types, we're going to real estate, we are going to types. So in this type right now, let's focus on what we have here, which is apartment, combo, single, studio. So let's deal with apartment. So all you need to do is to click on edit. When you click on edit, then we go to image, other image, you add image. That is, what is that? Okay, apartment. So let's look for apartment image. Okay, I use this. Excellent. So you update. When we update, we move back to the next one. Okay, then let's deal with condo. Let's edit that too. Then set the image. You can use your own image. Don't forget these are these are demo images. So to reduce the time spent on getting the image and all that. So that's why I'm using the one that came with the theme. But the most important thing is for you to get the the structure of how it's being done. And now let's do single family. Then let's do for beautiful. Okay, I like that beautiful apartment. There you go. Okay, so let's go to the back. So let's do studio apartment. studio. Let's call this studio. Oh, okay. Let's just use this as studio apartment. Oh, this one look like an office. Studio apartment. Oh yeah. Studio apartments. Yes. So we save. Then we're going to deal with villa now. So, last but not the least, on categories. Villa. Let's look for a big house. We can use this. So we can do the same thing for shops. You can do the same thing for residential. You can do the same thing for commercial. Okay, let's do the residential. So we know we've done for all the current type that we have. So residential can be any house. It can be any house. Residential. So this is residential. Let's do but nevertheless, while we are doing that, let's reload our page here to see if what we just added now is already applied. You see that now? So then at the back you can see there is something like a transparent image at the back. So I'm going to do the same thing. First you click on the main section, you click on the section, go to style, and then we have background type, classic, image. So you click on classic and select the image that we want to use. So that's background image, but the one that will truly work for us very well is background overlay. So let's deal with background overlay. Classic, go to the image, because if you use direct background, it will only show that you will not be able to fade it, unlike when you use background overlay. Background overlay, I'm looking for it. Okay, I use this. So you can see that now, but I can fade it using this opacity by increasing it. You see it's showing now. If I reduce it, yeah, so can probably publish and reload. So we can come back to this category while that one is loading. So we've done all residential. Then we can go for the warehouse too. So I don't have any. Okay, I've done that of warehouse before. So let's do shop. So shop can be this. This can be shop. And you can see map marker icon. You can as well create email that you want to use to mark this particular category or type on the map. So let's update it. Okay, now we can go back and do that of the house to office. So let's just add that of the office so we know we're done with types images. So let's look for one beautiful office. Let's use this. So we are going to now get that of commercial too, so that commercial we also have the same image. So let's do the commercial. Let's look for something commercial that looks commercial. We don't have this, but it's okay. Let's just decide it's commercial. Now that we have done that, what happened? Okay, so now that we have achieved this, the next one we need to achieve is this. So in that case, we now have to deal with location. So we have to go to the location of our project, then which we are going to see under the real estate as well. We have country, state, city, and area. And under here we have location. You can set up location, but we've already mentioned set it and show the location that we want to focus upon to be um, to be country, state, and the same thing applicable here. This is where you can actually see also some of the location that we have. Taxonomy layout, which is related to what we just used just now. And so let's look into that about location. Let's look into location now. So in the real estate we have country, we have state, we have city, and we have area. Now if you click on country, we have just one, and I want to add one. So I want to add Nigeria, add new, but I will disable, the country of the because we want the project to focus majorly on Nigeria. So, but let's leave it for now. We may still remove the United UAE that is there. So then we go to the level of state. So on state, we can now add FCT and slug to be FCT. The parent, no parent category, but we can select country, Nigeria. Then the image is better we just add it now. FCT image. Let's just add it straight away. I have it already. That's why we uploaded the other time. This is FCT image, which is Abuja. Then we add new state. So we can add another one. What do we have again? We have Ogun, we have Lagos, we have Ogun State. Same thing. Let's check the image. This is Abeokuta. So now we have Ogun. Where do we have again? We have Lagos, Kaduna, Lagos. We have Lagos. So we have Kaduna. So I'm going to use this because you don't have picture for Kaduna. So let me check this. Let's use this for Kaduna. Let's have our number. Let's use this. So you see, now that we have the state, we can go further in the same order and add city. So I'm going to add city to just one of the states, and let me use Ogun because the one of the this we are going to add is Ogun. Shimawa. So select state to be Ogun, then the image may pick this. So add new city. So now that we have this, so we are going to add an item, to this place. You can also do area, because this we have area too. We have area, but we can add that even when we are adding the product, we can add that. So now let's now go and create a section in our home page to now make sure that can show it by location. So we are going to show it by state based on what we have